We're finishing up the Red Letters message series here at Heritage Church. And in this message series, we're specifically taking a look at the written words of Jesus as found in the Bible. Now, oftentimes when Jesus taught, he taught using parables. So we're here in downtown Detroit in Greektown. Many of you know the area, you know this street, and we're going to be taking a look at the parable of the lost son. In this story, we see how the youngest son begged the father for his full inheritance well before the time in the most greedy and dishonoring way. So the father gave him the money, and he moved to a far-off land and spent his entire fortune on wild living. He moved to a place that probably had lots of lights and flash, the kind of place that might make you lose your money really, really fast. And we can probably all relate to that. A time that we were really tempted by something and we were pulled off in another direction very far from God. In this story, that youngest son, he probably spent his money on booze, women, and gambling. At this point, Jesus has given two parables, the parable of the lost coin and the lost sheep. And he did so to prove the heart of the Father, the fact that God loves us so much that he will stop at nothing to pursue those who are lost. And now Jesus gives one last parable. But this time, it's about a person, the lost son. Luke 15, verses 11 through 31. Jesus continued, "There was a man who had two sons. The younger one said to his father, 'Father, give me my share of the estate.' So he divided his property between them. Not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in that whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country, who sent him to his fields to feed his pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. When he came to his senses, he said, 'How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his servants, 'Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.' So the party began. Meanwhile, the older son was in the field. He heard the music and dancing. So he called one of the servants and asked, 'What's going on?' 'Your brother has come,' he replied, 'and your father has killed the fattened calf because he has him back safe and sound.' The older brother became angry and refused to go in. So his father went out and pleaded with him. But he answered his father, 'Look, all these years I have been slaving for you and have never disobeyed your orders. Yet you have never given me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours, who has squandered your property with prostitutes, comes home, you killed the fattened calf for him.' 'My son,' the father said, 'you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad, because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.'" The interesting part in this passage is that there were two lost people. So at face value, you may think that it was just the younger son, and that's true. He was lost, but I challenge you that the older son was equally lost, just in a different way.